Well, it's a perfect January 9th day, 2016. Not a very good day for shooting or anything, so I think I'll just load up some black powder shotgun shells. The only really unique thing you need to make investment in is this roll crimp tool. It's by BPI, and it comes in different gauges. This is 12 gauge, and that's what makes the roll. It's available through Graphs and Midway USA and Track of the Wolf. It just chucks in a little drill press, or I've even seen guys because the cases are shorter by a quarter of an inch, they don't reach the finger guides on the reloading press here. So what I did was I just borrowed a hex nut to space it up to where it reaches the fingers. Now, I got kind of tired of doing that, so I actually what I did was drill a hole a quarter of an inch lower or so, and that lets me eliminate the nut. So now I can just go along with business as usual, and the guide fingers reach in there. And to convert it back, all I have to do is pull out one screw and set the guide fingers up one to the next notch. The whole trimming process is a little simple. I just use a wooden dowel and a couple of marks here. This one I've used before to trim 10 gauge shells, and this one's what I'm using to trim my 12 gauge shells. And just using this box cutter, set in that notch, slide the hull over it. It's just that easy. Got my holes trimmed. I'm going to use the Lee press here just to deep prime and also size the base ring here. Lee actually does that. Get on the right side. It's a little awkward being off center here. There we go. I'm using grass reenactor. Not sure if you can see in there, but it's just not like cracked corn. It's about as coarse as you're going to get. I found out that it works just wonderful, and it's only about $11 a pound. I've been using it in my 44 pistol and everything else. Until I found a reason otherwise, I think I'll keep using it. Just yesterday I invested in a Lyman 55 measure made for black powder. Before that I've been using Lee dippers and different other things to charge my cases, but if I figure if I'm going to do this a lot more with pistols and shotgun, I'd invest in one of these. I'm going to charge these holes now. This amount of powder takes just a little while for it to all fall through. Now I can look in my holes and verify I've got a charge in each one and look like they're approximately the same depth. I'm using the Clay Buster wads. Let's see, the 1138 12, and using the 12 gauge overshot cards. So now I've got my whole charged. Up in the shot. This is a little bit tricky here, getting these top-part rods in. There I have the all ready to roll crimp. I've got my hulls stuffed and ready to roll crimp. One thing you say you need to do is to lubricate this edge a little bit. What I've done is just about like soap. It's scraps left over from loading or cutting homemade wonder wads. It's going to be a little noisy there. I don't know how much of this is needed. It's needed to work real well, but there you go. Looks nearly perfect to me. I got to use a little bit of Johnson paste wax, just a smidgen on the top of there. It seemed like it worked just as well or a little better. Here's a finished product. And probably could have had a little more stack height, maybe a little more powder, because I really got these underpowered. They knock down the knockdowns fine, but they're less than 2 grams and an ounce of shot. So they're really pretty mild loads. Now why go to this much trouble? Well, one thing I like about them is they're just cool. And 2, I can differentiate these loaded with black powder. I'll do all of them this way versus one that I've loaded with smokeless. Besides, I've been using different hulls. These are kind of considered throwaways anyway. They blow out the cases and sometimes they'll make cracks. I've loaded some 2 or 3 times. But anyway, you've got to spin doctor them to get them back straight again. But the reason I'm doing this is because I picked up an old Baker leader Pativa, and it was made somewhere between about 1900 and 1918. I guess probably in World War I they stopped production of them. They're the same design gun. You'll see the same ones. Crescent Arms bought them out and started making them for everybody, and which Baker did also. But this gun I picked up at a gun show. It had several small problems, but it had a lot of potential. It was a good solid fitting up gun. Fore end would fall off, and it seen a lot of exterior wear on it, but the inner mechanism was fine. They had it assembled wrong, and the safety wasn't working. So all this brought down the price. I cleaned up the stock somewhat. I didn't want to completely take away all the character and assemble it correctly with the safety. It's a real puzzle how to do that. But this old gun was made in the era of smokeless powder, and the advertisements say it's safe to shoot with nitro. That doesn't mean it's safe to shoot with modern ammunition with folded crimp and such. I suspect it has a short chamber in it, and it's certainly doesn't have a forcing cone made for folded crimp shells and wads. So I've shot it with these loads, and it's a real pleasant load. It's not going to put a strain on the gun, so it should last a lot longer than it would if I just went ahead and just shot factory equivalent field loads or target loads in it. So anyway, it's a bit of a nostalgia, something to do, and you know, if you don't get any fun out of it, why do it? So now I got to find something else to do the rest of the snowy day.